So, Saudi Arabia wants nukes. What else is new? Saudi Arabia has been eyeing nuclear tech for civilian purposes for many years now. Before Trump was even elected, there was a joint Russian-American venture to build tens of billions of dollars worth of nuclear tech all across the Middle East, but primarily in Saudi Arabia. With Saudi Vision 2030, the kingdom wants to, among other things, create a more green power grid through the use of solar and nuclear power, but not out of fear of the risks of climate change. Oh no, because domestic oil consumption is quickly rising and it's eating away at the amount of oil Saudi Aramco can export to other nations. So to free up more oil for exports, Saudi leaders are trying to invest in green tech. But since Trump is in office, the sale of nuclear tech to Saudi Arabia has been, shady at best and kind of nebulous at worst. In order for a nation to buy nuclear technology from the USA, they need to sign what is called a 1-2-3 agreement, which lays out ways that they are not allowed to use the technology or distribute it to other countries. But when the USA sold tech to the UAE, they signed what was called a gold standard 1-2-3 agreement, which basically states the nation must buy enriched uranium from American producers to not have any domestic enrichment capabilities, so that could lead to domestic nuclear ambitions. Well, Saudi Arabia is refusing to sign it because they claim they want to develop their own nuclear enrichment capability for energy purposes because they have enough uranium within their borders. Cutting some out of the supply chain, keeping it within your own borders sounds great, but not when you're Saudi Arabia. The United States and Saudi Arabia have been allies since before World War II. Both nations were drawn together by their shared anti-communist principles, but Saudi Arabia would also become an important supplier of oil for the United States as domestic production would not keep up with domestic consumption. Saudi Arabia has relied on American military aid for decades, especially when they felt threatened by Saddam when he invaded Kuwait. The Saudi king allowed Americans to station around 200,000 troops inside the kingdom, which angered more radical or conservative Islamic leaders in the country. The alliance between America and Saudi Arabia has always been a bit of a weird one, a secular constitutional republic allied with a theocratic absolute monarchy. Both countries have political leaders that question the validity of the alliance, from Saudi human rights records to America being seen as the greatest heretical nation on earth that threatens more radical Islamic views of the world. The alliance relies on a very delicate balance which gets disturbed every few years but always remains strong behind closed doors. But they know it can't and won't last forever. I have a video coming out on the Saudi-American alliance if you want a better understanding of its history and kind of why it's so strong in the face of such clear hypocrisy. A topic I've talked about more than once in this channel is the regional Cold War between Iran and Saudi Arabia. I won't touch on it too much in detail. I'll leave a playlist of videos you can watch for more in-depth videos on it. The Saudis have feared Iran for decades, since the Ayatollahs came to power and instituted a Shia theocracy. They both saw each other as direct threats to one another, and they've built up their militaries and formulated plans accordingly. Iran, as has been public knowledge for years now, has a very questionable nuclear program, and that has sent panic through the Al-Saud royal family, to say the least. A nuclear-armed Iran would mean a weak Saudi Arabia even more reliant on America for protection. Saudi officials have made it very clear that if Iran gets a bomb, they would get one too through whatever means possible, whether it be domestic programs over many years or outright purchasing them from Pakistan, which Pakistan was like, oh, hold up, I'm not selling my nuclear bombs. Overall, Saudi Arabia feels very trapped by Iran at the moment because they came very close to getting a bomb, it seemed. They have de facto proxy control over Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, they're arming the Houthis in Yemen, and the Saudis fear that they have agents in the Shia populations of the eastern provinces of the kingdom. They don't feel like America, being on the other side of the world, has the capability to be there if Iran were to suddenly invade and capture the oil fields. A nuclear bomb would unfortunately be the security they've lacked from their alliance. But also having so many nations around them, like Yemen or Qatar, who push against Saudi influence, they would then be in Saudi Arabia's nuclear shadow. In one way it guarantees security, in the other it guarantees compliance.